Welcome everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to cover two new data types that are built into Python. These are lists and tuples. Now, lists in particular are extremely powerful, and in today's lecture, we will start seeing why this is the case. Tuples are less powerful, and when you first encounter them, you will wonder, why do we have tuples? Because in many ways they look like lists, but they're less powerful. But we will see that tuples occur many times in Python, and they're there for a good reason. The other concept that we will cover is exceptions. Exceptions are a very convenient way to handle special cases. We have seen when we write functions that we sometimes handle special cases first using a series of if conditions. This can sometimes make our code look a bit ugly. We really want to do a core piece of work, and if there is a possibility of an error in that region of the code, exceptions allow us to handle that error separately. So we will see that this actually improves the readability of our code. But as always, we will encounter these ideas in the context of a problem. So let's see what our client has in store for us today. So let's take a closer look at this code. We see, first of all, there is a helper function whose body is hidden. We have seen this helper function before, so let's ignore it. Let's focus on the function that our client wants us to modify. By the way, modifying existing code is a very important skill that we as programmers must learn to do. In our professional lives, we will often modify code because the requirements have changed. We want more or less the same functionality, but something slightly different. So we must get good at this. So this function is called next. It takes a date which is of type string and it returns a string. And the doc string and the doc test explain to us how this function is supposed to work, what its purpose is. So for example, if I give you the string 22/10/2008, then the next date is of course 23/10/2008. Now, let's focus on the individual steps. The code works in 4 high-level steps. Fortunately, there are comments explaining to us the purpose of the individual steps. So step 1, extract the day, month, and year. So we have to pull out 22, 10, and 2008 from this string. How are we going to do that? Well, we have seen the slicing operation, and we know that in this case, this string has a 2 at index 0, it has another 2 at index 1, and then it has a / at index 2. So if we want to pull out the 22, that will be the first 2 letters of this string. Then we would ignore the letter, which is the / at index 2, and move on to index 3 and 4 to pull out the month, ignore the letter at index 5, and then pull out the value at index 6 onwards. So let's actually zoom in on this code and see what it looks like. Here we see string slicing. We have ignored the number before the colon. Remember, that means you start at the beginning. So everything up to but not including index 2, meaning just index 0 and index 1. Take that slice of the string date and convert that into an int. Why are we converting this into an int? Well, we need to do some calculation with it. We want to calculate the next date. So that would be useful to convert that string into an int. Similarly, for the month, everything from index 3 up to but not including index 5. And the year is everything starting at index 6 up to the end of the string. So this code looks fine. What does our client want us to do? Well, our client says this code needs to work on many types of inputs. Basically, our client wants this code to be a little bit more robust. So our client says that this code is going to be called with inputs like 27/2/2005, which is a perfectly reasonable way of expressing 22nd of February 2005. But some people will also write in the DDMMYYYY format, where they write 02 for the month. And while this code works perfectly fine for inputs like this, it fails for inputs like this. Can you see why?